Hello, my lovelies. This is a reading for Scorpio for the month of March 2019. I hope you're all well. I have a little vision for you to begin with, and when I asked, I said, show me something, show me a sign for Scorpio's directions to take, and they literally showed me a sign. So it's like you've been in a car park and you've gone and done some shopping, and you're getting in the car to drive away. Now, usually the route is shown on the painted on the ground, so you've got the bays, white lines in the bays to show you where to park. And as you drive away from that, there's an arrow on the ground, a white arrow pointing, say turn left to the exit this way. But what I heard for you is for you not to take the usual route. So if your logical mind says, oh, well, the only way to get out of this car park, this situation, is I follow that white arrow and I go that way. So Spirit is saying, no, not this time. To use your intuitive energies, your gut instinct, and to follow the arrows that you feel intuitively are taking you in a better direction. So this is saying to me that for some of you, it feels like you've been parked for a long time. So you've been in this bay, you've been hemmed in by these white lines and just still, stationary, not able to move forward. And because it's been a routine, it's been regular, it's been automatic pilot of this feeling of, yes, right, so that's where I park. This is my favourite parking space. I like this one because I'm nearer that and I'm nearer the door, etc., etc. But now's the time to move out of that sense of restriction and not to follow the usual route. Now, for some of you, this might push you out of your comfort zones. I say, well, I like my routine. I like to have everything in place. I don't like to feel discomforted or out of sorts with my routine. But in a way, there's nothing you can do about this because there's such a huge energetic change affecting us all, coming in to shake us all up. So this is about being prepared for dramatic change, for unexpected happenings. And when you do take that leap of faith and turn right instead of left, you'll be surprised what comes along to find you. So a part of you might, as I said, say, oh, well, I don't like change, but you've been asking for it. On some level, you have been asking for change, for things to improve, and for something to come into your life. Well, it's here, it's arriving, it's, some might think, well, it's come out of the blue. Well, no, it hasn't really come out of the blue. It's been working behind the scenes. So Spirit and your higher self have been cooking up a plan to bring you this new experience, and you were absolutely ready for it. Okay, absolutely ready for it. Now, on the 6th of March, there are 3 major energetic changes. It's going to affect all of us. And I'll start firstly with the new moon in Pisces. So new moon's always about making changes, new beginnings, and you're a water sign as well, dear Scorpios. So this will be like fluidity of movement, of motion. So if you've been in this car park stuck, thinking, well, which way do I go? I'll just see here. This is taking you in a very different direction, but it's more fluid. It's more going with the flow of life, etc. The other thing is that Mercury is turning retrograde. That was on the 5th, for a period of 3 weeks. So Mercury is retrograde in Pisces. So again, we've got this watery energy, And Mercury retrograde is always about going back over stuff, having a look at things in a finer detail, or things from the past coming to visit. It's not just from maybe a few months ago, it can be from years and years and years ago that something returns. It may be in slightly different garb, but it's coming back for you to have another look at. And but because you are older, you've had more life experience, when it visits again, you'll be able to see it in a completely different light. For some of us, this is about acknowledging how far you've come and what you've achieved, not just sort of in the material world, but also on a deeper level. So my sense for you this month is it's takeoff time. It is a launch point. The 6th of March is a launch point for you to be able to say, right, I've sat here for long enough. I haven't managed to get anywhere. I feel the urge to move forward, but I'm not taking the usual route. I'm going to go down a totally different pathway, and I'm going to trust completely that where I head is absolutely right for me. Now, because the planet Uranus is moving into the sign of Taurus on the 6th of March for a period of almost around about 7 years. Now, Taurus is your opposite sign. So by that, I mean, when you look at the 12 signs in the zodiac, you've got Scorpio here, so Taurus will be opposite you. So as this huge planet of change moves into an earth sign, Taurus, it's going to trigger off stuff for you on a very, very, very deep level. And it can come in quite dramatically. It can also come in on a very subtle level. So with the moon in Pisces and Mercury in Pisces, and that is your, as I say, another water sign, because you are intuitive and you have an ability to see things on that deep, deep, deep level, when these shifts and changes come in, hopefully you should be able to embrace them more easily than some of the other signs, but it's going to shake everyone up. So the first little oracle card is this one. So it's the Angels of Faith. So it's not religious faith, it's that faith in taking that leap. So if you look at the two angels, they're on a trapeze. So they're completely trusting each other, that when one leaps, the other will catch them. So it's faith, and a huge leap of faith for you, Scorpios. And because this is a higher aspect with Uranus energy, it's trusting in your soul's knowledge, your soul's divine plan, that whatever you feel nudged to step into is exactly the right thing for you. As I said, taking the left turn instead of the right turn, or the right turn instead of the left turn in the usual way. You may feel a bit wobbly. Others around you might say, what on earth are you doing? Why are you doing that? And it's for you to say, it just feels right. So it might be outside other people's view of who you are, but your view of who you are is changing. You can't play that role anymore. You can't be the same person that you have been, because it's you not being true to you. So then the self-mastery card, generosity. So this is the ability to be generous to yourself. So if you're always giving out to others, there comes a time when you cannot give from an empty pot. You have to be replenished. So this period around you, of this energetic shift, which can shift you to your core, is how you are initially generous to yourself, giving yourself self-care, nourishment, plenty of water, because you're a water sign, and also the self-care in such a way that if you do go with these shifts and changes and see life in a different way, is not to slip back into the old ways just to please others. Yes, you can keep stuff to yourself, and which is a scorpionic trait anyway, but I get the sense that this is going to be so life-changing for you. You will get to a point where you do want to share your experiences and what's happening to you. So the generosity card says, my heart is full and open, flowing with pure good feelings and good wishes for everyone. I follow my spontaneous instinct to give, and I'm totally happy. So you're flowing with pure good feelings and good wishes for everyone, which means you're full. If you're flowing with it, you are full. You're full up with all this beautiful stuff, and it's always being replenished, continuously being replenished. And I follow my spontaneous instinct to give, and I am totally happy. So an example of this for me, I was travelling abroad, and I was at an airport, and I bought some things from the little shop there, and I didn't have enough English money on me, but I wanted to buy all this stuff, and I thought, oh, I'm so sorry, I haven't got enough on me, I'll put something back. And the guy behind me in the queue, he said, oh, don't worry, I'll pay for that. And I said, oh, but I can't pay you back. He said, don't worry about it, don't worry. And he put some money down on the counter. And I thought, wow, wasn't that nice? How kind, how generous. It wasn't a huge amount, maybe a couple of quid. But that resonated with me, and I thought, oh, I do like that, even though I couldn't pay him back. And then many, many years later, when I did have some money on me, I was in a little cafe, having a nice meal on my own, and an elderly lady came in, sat down and ordered some food. So when the waiter came over to me, and I'd asked for my bill, I said, I'd like to pay the bill for that lady as well. Oh, he said, do you know her? I said, no. Oh, why do you want to do that? I said, because I can. And I don't want her to know that I paid. So it's just a little gift from me. And he said, why do you want to do that? And I said, because I can. Because I want to. So I paid my bill, and I paid for that lady, and I just left. I walked past. I didn't look at her. I just walked past and off I went. And I thought, that felt so good to me to be able to do that. And I thought, in a way, I'd paid back this guy at the airport, maybe more than he paid out for me, but it didn't really matter. It was just this feeling of, at the time, I had the funds to brighten up somebody's day, to give them a surprise. And it's now known as paying forward. So when we do something for others without any thought of reward, an act of random kindness, it does come back to us in the most extraordinary of ways. So I'm looking out at the car park. I can see from my window, and what I'm seeing is I'm hearing also is an upgrade for you. So if you've been driving around in a battered old Mini, there's a very nice Range Rover sitting out there, and the keys are in the ignition, ready to take you off in this new direction. So whether it is an actual motor car for you, I just get the sense that for some of you there's this huge upgrade in energies, in your ability to not only give but receive. Because when we give from an open heart and a flowing energy. So we need to be able to receive the same way. with an open heart and a flowing energy. So there isn't any halt along the way. You won't be stuck in that car park for much longer. So the animal for you is beautiful. Look, 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 you've got the butterfly. Yay. Beautiful butterfly energy. So it's number 9. And this is interesting too, because 9 is a completion. It's an ending. So you've come to the end of a very big cycle in your life. And it's being able to acknowledge that, not try and work it past its sell-by date, which a lot of us do tend to do, and try to pump life into a corpse, certain aspects of how we live. So you might like to go back over the last 9 weeks, 9 months, and see how things were then, because this is now the butterfly. So you're not the caterpillar anymore. You're not in the cocoon anymore. You are spreading your wings. You're coming forth out into a very different way of being. So again, it's moving from one energy into another. It's moving from one form into another. So the caterpillar can only walk, but the butterfly can fly. So this is takeoff time. But you're ready. You're absolutely ready for it. It's due. So the 9-month gestation period, you are due. So we have a little mini one, mini butterfly, and it says, you are changing. Emerge into your new state of being and honour your transformation. So however that feels for you or comes about for you, to be able to honour who you truly are, because sometimes if we hide ourselves away and don't honour who we truly are, then we are we're living half a life. You've come here to do something in this lifetime, whether it's whether it's to be a mum or a dad or a teacher or a road sweeper, whatever it is to honour that that process and that life purpose that you came in with. So if you've been hiding your light under a bushel, as they say, it's now I'm seeing fireflies, and they usually come out in the dark. So it's like you can't turn this light off. It's going to glow, it's going to pulsate, it's going to be in people's faces. No matter how you might want to turn the dimmer switch down, you've done that for far too long. The dimmer switch doesn't work anymore. It's full blast, so it's like this huge arc light coming from you, blasting into people's lives. And it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to be recognised. And I'm also hearing that for some of you it may be you're called for an audition. So if there are some of you out there who are in the acting profession and you're going for a role, you may be called for an audition. And yes, you can play the part. Yes, you can wear the garb and the outfit and the costume. But on another level, this is about you portraying yourself as you truly are, and letting that light shine forth from you. So if this resonates with those who do want to act, who do want to perform, what will come off the screen is an integrity, is a you will be noticed far more than certain other actors that might just seem superficial. So there's a depth, there's a gravitas, that's the word, a gravitas that will shine forth from you. So if you have a role on whichever stage of life, this is about recognition by others, but also you recognizing your own true worth and how you can share that with other people. Because I feel for some you haven't had that recognition. Others may have put you down, or you haven't felt brave enough to show your true talents. Okay, it's like this. I can't remember his name now, but there was one little guy on Britain's Got Talent, and he came on and played the piano. And it was the first time he'd ever performed in front of an audience. He'd only ever done it at home. He'd only ever tinkled around at home, and everyone was so gobsmacked that this boy had this talent. But up until then, he hadn't had the courage or the sense of self-worth to show what he could do. So then there may be talents and abilities within you which now need to shine, and you will receive recognition and reward for it. Now, a way to keep a balance and keep your feet on the ground and not go off into the ego side of things. Look at me, aren't I great, aren't I gorgeous? Which we all are anyway. So the Ascended Master from the cards is the Green Man. It says retreat into nature. So the Green Man is a very ancient sign that was known throughout the lands, and you may still see some of them carved into stonework in churches. So it's pre-Christian times. So it's a pagan entity, a pagan energy, but that just means nature, nature spirit. And how, when we tap into nature and go with the seasons and this feeling of when we resist the changes that are coming along, we can feel stuck and stagnant. But what's coming along for you is an opportunity, a chance to move forward, a chance to really, really shine, and to put out there what it is we need. Now, I'm put in mind of a family that I know, and have two boys. The oldest one has special needs, and the younger one is always pushed into the corner. And the younger one wants so much to have attention paid to him, to shine and to show the world what he can do. He's extraordinarily talented, but the other boy comes first because he has special needs. And so this may resonate with some of you, that there may have been a favourite in the family who always got the attention and you were sidelined. But now things are very, very different. So it's not a competition. It's not oh, you didn't love me enough and you didn't pay attention to me. This is you feeling that sense of empowerment and being able to step into the role that you came to do. The Green Man is all about fertility. So yes, it can be about giving birth to a child, but it's also about giving birth to ideas. So when there is a fertile time around us and we plant those little seeds and we cultivate them and we nurture them and we call upon the energies of nature, the nature spirits and the elementals, to guard our creation, then they'll do that. They will come in and they will energetically keep an eye on things for you. So it would be very, very good for you to go and walk in nature. You're a water sign, so by a river, by a stream, by the ocean, a lake, where there's lots of greenery, lots of trees. And you might like to look at one of my previous videos, 11-11-11 it's called, and I was walking through the woods on the 11th of November last year, and there was a fallen tree, and as I walked up to it, there were axe marks in it, 2 axe marks, and it was 11. And then I looked further along the trunk, and there's another one, or another 2 axe marks. So it said 11, 11. Actually, in the in the tree trunk. So that was a lovely sign for me, and a confirmation I was in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And from that, lots of other things stemmed. So if you have a question in your mind, or you're pondering on something about making a decision, making a change, the best thing for you to do is to go and walk in nature, wherever that might be around you. Give yourself that gift of that time. If you have a dog, take your dog. Sometimes if you have other people around you while you're trying to sort something out, you're giving your attention to them rather than to what it is you need to listen to and what nature tries to tell you. And you might miss the signs, like the axe marks in the tree. So something wants to show up, something is beckoning you, something wants to embrace you, to bring you to another way of existing, another way of seeing life, to get you out of that blinking car park, yeah, point you in another direction. So we'll finish with a well-being card from Esther and Jerry Hicks, and see which one wants to show up for you. Oh, hello there, look at that. There's a little dude in bed, the moon shining, new moon in Pisces. Now you can't see new moons for at least 3 days when they are exact, because they're hidden. And there's a full moon coming up, I believe. Oh golly, I can't remember now. I think it's around the 21st, 22nd. So it's only a couple of weeks to go until this full moon arrives. So this is like the dream time between now and then. And it's about manifesting your dreams. The universe knows me. And the universe adores me. So if you've been feeling unloved, or you haven't deserved the attention that you wanted from whoever it might be, the universe is saying it loves you and it adores you. And something is going to show up to prove that to you. So it says, if you will allow it, you will feel the love that flows to you and through you. You are always seen, always understood, and always loved. So even though you haven't seen it, maybe, if you will allow it, you will feel the love that flows to you and through you. The gentle art of allowing things to come to you. You were always seen, always understood, and always loved. So if you felt that those around you haven't seen you, haven't understood you, and haven't loved you, the universe has always seen you, always understood, and you were always loved. So there you are, my darlings. I hope that's been of some help to you. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking. If you'd like to delve a little more deeply and have a private session with me, then the details are in the box below. So have a fabulous March, and I shall see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.